Good evening, everyone.
Hey everybody, I'm Nikki.
All
We
right,
need
this
to
might
work on
help.
that. Hi
Evening,
guys,
everyone.
it's me. Yep.
Good evening.
Nick, you
How's,
go.
how's everyone doing tonight?
You don't want to know the answer to this.
Good job.
No, pretty good.
Well, hi everyone, and welcome to Paranormal PWA Chat. With this evening, I have my lovely co-hosts Nick Mulan,
Nicole,
Rob
you're
from
muted.
Australia, Chris from the US, Nicole from US, and Joe from US. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. We'll try and ask them. And tonight is open chat, so you can ask us anything.
Yeah, it's going to be
You good,
just kind
Nick?
of plain and simple.
Plain as this.
So
I'm
Robert, do you
sorry.
have any?
I got a new
I thought you were going to ask something.
That's cool.
There's
What's up,
Kate.
Kate?
Hi, Kate. What's
Hi.
the picture of Nicole?
Dang.
I got a new puppers.
Oh, you do?
Oh,
Oh,
Check that out.
We rescued her. Her name's Harley.
Oh, Harley.
yay.
oh, she's adorable.
And then I have my other two, which are usually too far from me.
Oh,
Hey, Sue. Hey, Sue. Where's the
And
Martian?
Mike somewhere.
He's in the hot
Go, Mike. Someday I'm going to jump in that hot tub with him.
Come on up. It's totally fine.
Okay, the least interesting man in the Minecraft world. What's going on,
And the
Tom?
golfing world, too.
hey Tom.
I mean,
And
I
Supernatural
try to
Pop
be. I
world.
mean, I try to be, right, Robert?
Is that
Oh, wait, hang
Oh,
on one
that's
second. Somehow,
Tom McNicholas?
sorry, I don't know how.
Yeah,
I thought I already unmuted you, but for some reason it didn't go through.
I thought I unmuted myself too.
Oh, there you go. Now we can hear you loud and
Yeah.
clear.
oh
I was
Lord.
saying that you should be renamed the most unalived person in the Minecraft world.
The latest person in the world.
Yep. He even digs his own holes.
He once paralleled a freight.
Oh, Lord.
Once paralleled parked a freight train.
I,
Wouldn't surprise me.
You know
I
what?
heard something about a trap and falling into a trap on Minecraft the other night.
Yes, yes. That was funny as hell. Well, it's
Twice
funny.
in about a minute.
I will say this with what Kate just said. It's kind of ironic she said that because earlier today, when I got home from when I finished up work, uh,
Sorry.
right behind our grocery store that we work at, there's a railroad track that runs literally right behind the building, and
Mhm.
uh, this guy is so what Kate said. He could speak Russian and French.
Oh, my
Really?
Oh wow, there's the AI agent.
God.
He
But
speaks
as
Russian and French only when it comes to dressing.
but anyways, yeah. So there was this train station that is like right behind the building. I thought it would take like a good shortcut for me to get like in Uber or whatever just to pick me up. And it's ironic because the
The longest.
station that we went to was an old turn of the century train station that is still in operation. It was the Gulf train station. It's been around in operation since 1903. Never really found like any ghost stories associated with it, but just being around this small train station in general, it's just kind of cool when you look at a historic structure, like the way how it looks so original to it, and how
Yeah.
it's still continuing operations. Over 120 years later, it's quite
Are you going to
phenomenal.
start the
So
next world?
what's that?
Are you going to start the next world and do explorations of it?
Yeah, as far as
Wouldn't
I know,
surprise
there's
me.
no expiration dates for it.
Oh,
It's still a fascinating little station though. Like nice to have one of those historic buildings
Lord.
right behind our store.
Yeah.
Have you
Thank you,
guys
Mike.
ever train stations, or
What's that?
has anyone investigated an old train station before?
Well,
That's on
there's
here?
a train museum up here in Northampton, and I've been in it a few times. Like it's all set up as a museum with all the figures and stuff like that, the concrete or whatever they're made of. But its legend is that it's haunted by one of the railway keepers, one of the either one of the ones that work the trains or one of the ones that kept him up to date and everything, like coal, like loading the coal and stuff like that. He apparently is in one of the quarters that's on display. Uh,
Oh,
I've
wow.
been a few times, as I said, I've never felt anything, never got any
Yeah.
feelings like he might be there. So I don't know. I had more luck at one of the walks that they had when I still had both
Mm.
legs down one of the alleyways. There were several in one alley down there, but it wasn't at the train station.
Oh, wow. Nick, have you done a train station before? Or rail
I
trains?
haven't, but I have heard of a couple like former train stations that you can
Mhm.
investigate. Um,
Yeah.
Mhm.
when I mean former, obviously there are stations that no longer are in operation, and some of
Yeah.
them don't even have the railroad line even running through. They just have
Mhm.
the railroad depot still standing. And
Yeah.
there's quite a number of them. There's one down in southern Illinois that I really like to investigate. And yeah, we also that what Tom said. It wasn't really a station,
Yeah.
but it was what was known as a signal box. I
Oh,
tried
wow.
looking that one up, but unfortunately, I couldn't find any info or exactly what the signal box was called. But it looked like it was of historic value. And once again, but unlike other cases, this was one that had been boarded up and probably abandoned for years. So I don't exactly know
Yeah.
the story
Mhm.
of the signal box that was there. But there is also one other location I could think of that I'm sure many of you guys probably hadn't heard of. This is kind of more revolving around the cryptid stories. In fact, it's not a train
Yeah.
station and it's not a signal box. It's actually a train trestle. In fact, located down on the outskirts of Louisville, Kentucky. It's called the Poplick Creek, I mean, or the Poplick Trestle, which is over Poplick Creek, and
Yeah.
that is where supposedly there's a goat man that is said to roam and stalk the
Meh,
trestle, which
meh.
which I want to say,
Bah, humbug.
what's that?
Bah, humbug.
It's actually it's funny that he's always described in
Mhm.
very different ways. They say that he's either part goat, like part man, part goat, and part
Yeah.
sheep, and is said to like stand up to about like 7 to 8 feet tall. It has like the grotesque deformed body of a man, but with the head of a goat, and along with like stringy white hair that lines its legs, along with hooves. In some versions, they say that the creature uses hypnosis to lure its victims out. Other stories go that it attacks its victims from the top of the trestle with a blood-stained axe. And of course, there's
Jesus.
also even some stories that go that the very sight of this creature is so unsettling that just by merely looking at it causes people like just like jump off the trestle. Like they'd rather jump to their deaths rather than having to deal with seeing this creature. But I do want to let everyone know because almost every site about this trestle. Wait, what?
Every
Oh, wait.
girl's face
Oh,
is
yeah,
out.
Hey,
okay.
white
White
leg. That was.
legs.
Hit the wet legs.
But I will say this because again, almost every site mentions about the Poplick trestle. Trains still run on the trestle, so do not in any way, shape, or form, unless you got some kind of permission, which is very doubtful. Do not attempt to try to investigate the Poplick trestle because it is
Don't
still
walk on the train lines.
You did,
You'll get
you
hit.
did that.
yeah, because it's still private property of the Union Pacific,
Yep.
and it's night. It's like it's not. It's like 750. Yes, 750 feet high. So
Oh,
that could
Jesus.
also very likely cost you your life. So
And what's that in meters?
that is See, I'm not good when it comes to yeah, from what I remember hearing was that the Popelik trestle, otherwise it is a very old historic trestle. It was built in the 1880s. It's 90 feet long, 722 feet high, and it's just track and trestle, and that's it. There's nowhere to go.
220 meters high.
Yeah,
That's what I was just translating. I was about to say that, Rob.
Yeah, it's yeah, to this day, like I said, it's still in use. So don't ever try to trespass it, because you'll either one of two things are going to happen. Either you're most
You
likely
come fired?
you're most likely going to get killed by a passing train, or you're most like even if you don't, you're most likely going to be arrested for trespassing.
Go on.
Or three, you'll become a chicken.
No, well, I mean, in all seriousness, there actually have been a few deaths on the trestle. People trying to investigate the goat man to try to find the existence of it, and unfortunately, there's been at least
I'm waiting for Tom's comment.
oh yeah, there's been at least like 4, 5, 6 people who have died on that trestle. 2 of them in the 1980s, one in the 90s.
Yeah.
Another occurred in 2000, and one more occurred also in 2016, and also recently one in 2019. So, and a lot of them were kids that went up. So that's why, again, like you do all the time, Nikki, like you always say a lot,
Yeah.
I urge you, don't ever go onto the trestle. It's no problem if you're investigating the creek, the bottom area. Just don't go on the top of it, because it's dangerous to go up to such locations.
Never get on top.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, it's terrifying to go up there. You know, you're literally like halfway into the clouds, and all the
I
rest
wouldn't want to be on top anyway from that. Jesus.
What's that?
700 feet in the air? No, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, all there is like single track and nothing else. And also, there's even a movie that's been made, but contrary to popular belief, there's a scene in the film where the teenagers actually try to hang on to the side of the trestle, you know, to avoid an oncoming train. In reality, that would truly be impossible, because few people have the strength to actually hold on for the 5 to 7 minutes a train takes to get across the trestle. Moreover, because it's a trestle, when you have those trains pass by, especially at high speeds,
Rumbling. Yeah.
yep, the ground below, shakes like an earthquake, and it causes the whole trestle to shake, making holding on to avoid being hit literally impossible.
You'd have to be
That's
strapped.
my
I feel like Tom's comment. Sorry, Tom. I love your comment.
I saw some guys. They actually did go to the trestle like a few years ago, investigate it, and I look at the script. I'm thinking, dude, what the hell are they doing? Like, this is like, even from a paranormal investigators, I'm like, this is like stupid of what these guys are doing.
I got one for you, Nick.
What's that?
Come with me and we'll investigate. We'll look for the goat man in Wisconsin.
Oh, yes. I forgot. You guys had a goat man of your own in Wisconsin, too.
Hog's Back Road near Holy Hill Road is a narrow, treacherous drive up with sharp turns and steep drop-offs on both sides. It's also home to the goat man. So
I haven't heard that one in a long time. I knew about the one in Popelik Creek, but I forgot about the one up in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we got in Colorado in terms of cryptids. But
you guys have the
besides Bigfoot,
but you've got like 200 cemeteries on this road, a bar, and all kinds of good stories just in that small little area.
His magnetic personality must set off his watch and change the time.
Actually, I take back. I got the number switched. So because Sue was asking. Okay, so the Popelik trestle is 772 feet long and 90 feet high. So either way, you're really high. And also, from what I've heard, people who've walked across that trestle, like as you're walking across, it's like the space, like those wooden pieces of the tracks that you see.
Yeah.
As you're walking across it, the space becomes wider. So again, you trying to if you see a train coming and you try to run, it's impossible. Again, it's impossible. You would have to literally take your time to get across the trestle that way. So if you, in other words, essentially the bottom line is you go across
Rob,
this
we ain't
trestle.
making it.
What's that?
I said, Rob, we ain't making it.
Yeah, exactly. You're screwed. Either you're
Well,
gonna
it's under 30 meters high, so it's on 27 meters high, I think.
yeah.
So
essentially, it's like you're
27.432
screwed
meters.
either way if a train comes. Either you're going to get hit by the train or you're going to fall to your death.
Maybe the creek will be deep for that.
People. Yeah.
The creek doesn't rise that high, so you have to worry about rocks and stuff like that. So
Well, I'll just get a bucket of water and just.
yeah, there was actually like I said, there was actually a 16-minute film that was made on the legend. It's in black and white. Surprisingly, it came out in 1988, and that actually did worry Union Pacific officials, thinking that it was going to cause people to actually go to the trestle to find the legend of the Goat Man.
Yeah.
And in reality, much of the film was shot at the trestle, but when they shot the scenes on top of the trestle, it was shot at another safer location, understandably. But when this movie was released, it was just like a local film. It wasn't released all over the country, kind of like a student film. Union Pacific made it perfectly clear that, yes, this movie may be based on a legend of the trestle, but they were still letting people know that they were not allowed to investigate it, and anyone caught on top of the trestle would be arrested for trespassing.
If you're standing on the middle
we've
done
when
a train comes, you'll die. That's the legend.
We've technically done a train. I said we technically did a train track. So through the Swanview Tunnel, there's a train track. God, it hurts when you kick it with your feet.
Oh, I'm sure.
So you know how you've got the old metal railing bits? So that's the only bit they have left on the train tracks. You don't actually physically see the train track. You just walk along, do your thing, and you're like, yeah, I just kicked that. That's going to bloody hurt, but it's all good.
That'd be about the only thing you can do.
And that's what we do.
I don't even know if maybe a climbing rig, but there's no guarantee that you'd be able to hang off the side.
Yeah.
You'd have to hook it all to the side, but then you'd have to change it every time it hooks or does its little where it connects again. I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say, but you'd have to unhook it from that section and move it to the next section. And
well, here's the funny
thing.
Well, here's the funny thing when it comes to the Goat Man of the Pope-like monsters. It's also called. Unlike most cryptids, there never have actually been like real reports of the Pope-like monster. Although, if some of you guys know Pac-Man Paranormal, Ernie and Denise, Ernie when he was doing a show months ago, he actually had somebody on who claimed that he had a small cast of what he believed may have been the Pope-like monster, which that was the first time I've seen any type of evidence at all involving the monster itself, because before that you couldn't really find any actual sightings in regards to the monster. So perhaps maybe there is some kind of evidence to say that maybe the Goat Man in some way, shape, or form does exist on the Pope-like trestle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, cryptids.
Cryptids, yeah.
Cryptids.
And it's the story, and also
I've seen more.
Oh, go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you were going to say something. Well,
you're right. You can go.
The only other thing I could really say about involving this legend is even the origins of the story is said to be even more murky. I mean, there's at least, from what I remember hearing, was at least 5 or 6 different versions of how the Pope-like monster supposedly was born or came to life. The first version was that it was originally a circus freak who vowed revenge after being mistreated and abused by the other freak show performers and owners and whatnot. and at some point and they said that either the train that was passing over the public trestle was either struck by lightning or it derailed, and the public, I mean, and the goat man emerged from there. The second version, a second version goes was that there was a farmer that was becoming way too familiar with his goats, and they they bred a goat together, which gave this horrible half man, half goat type creature. The third version goes was that it is supposedly like an old hermit that lives in an abandoned shack off the side of the railroad tracks. The fourth version goes was that it was originally a farmer that was sacrificing goats in exchange for satanic powers, and it turned him into this horrible, humanoid creature. And finally, the last one I could think of was a more well-known version. Is it was a farmer who was mistreating his goats, and the spirits of the goats all came back together as one entity, as a goat man type creature, killed the farmer, and has been living on the trestle ever since.
Hopefully.
Have any of you guys seen any cryptids while investigating?
Is that what happened to our last pope?
Yeah, I've seen the Wikipedia page about the Pope Lake monster, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Chris, have you seen any cryptids or anything like that, or shapeshifters and stuff? Or Daniel, investigation?
No, I don't think I have. I've wanted to, but I never have. I've never actually. I'm kind of out here in Flatland, Colorado. There's nothing here.
He's out in BFE.
Yeah. I wish I was closer to the mountains so I could hunt like big feet and everything else.
Bigfoot, yeah.
Kate, to answer your question, I know I already said this earlier. I'll say it again. What the goat man actually does, supposedly in the story, goes that he stalks the public trestle and either uses hypnosis or voice mimicry to lure his victims. In another version, he sometimes attacks his victims with a blood-stained axe. And like I said earlier, too, they said even the very sight of this creature is so unsettling that it literally causes people to jump off the trestle rather than having to deal with this creature. But that's what supposedly it's been. I feel like I'm missing some parts of it, but that's from what I can remember.
Nicole, what about you? Have you seen any cryptids or anything like that? What do you?
No, not for lack of trying, though.
Right. Maybe that thing in the basement was a cryptid, Nicole. Otherwise, the thing in the basement that looked over the door.
Yeah, but I never saw that. I mean, I heard and I saw what people drew, what they saw, but I didn't see it myself.
That'd be the closest to anything I'd come to. But
yeah,
I saw the video of it, and
yeah, outside of between Canyon City and Cripple Creek, there's a road called Phantom Canyon Road.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's one lane most of the way, and there's cars going both ways, and you have to kind of edge over so they can get by. And it's like in the canyon, and like there are pull-off spots. And I don't know how many years ago, me and Anthony took Phantom Canyon from Cripple Creek down to Canyon City, and we had popped off on somewhere, one of the rest stop areas, because they have two. And we just like hiked up into the woods, and Anthony was, doing Bigfoot calls and stuff, but we didn't find anything.
I never had. I always want to, and I never.
Yeah, what Sue just said, by the way, the film that I was just talking about, you could watch it on YouTube. So he must have just looked it up. I forgot that it was on YouTube as well. So it's like it's a real short. It's like a 16-minute movie to check out. So it's very cheaply made. It was a $6,000 film, but so it was low budget. But that movie, we just lost Joe. Hopefully he'll come back. But yeah, you can watch the film.
It's okay. And Rob.
Okay, so I was gonna ask Joe, like you were doing, Nikki, about if he saw any cryptids when he left before he could.
Yeah, that's right.
Could it be the same goat man from your location and his that he was talking about?
It's possible, but I think just like it is with Bigfoot, I think there's multiple like entities of these goat men. So
Yeah.
I don't think there's just one, because in addition to that one, there's also a goat man that's seen in there's also you also have another one called the Maryland goat man. There's also one
Yeah,
that's
I've
seen
heard
in
that.
in
Yeah.
Beltsville, Maryland, and there's also somewhat of a goat man that's seen down in Texas, but over down there
Yeah.
it's called the Lake Worth monster. Although there have not been, as far as I know, there have not been any sightings of that monster since 1969. Though that doesn't mean though it could still be living in the area.
There was a documentary I was watching, and it was like paranormal investigators, and they were driving down a main road, and one of the tour guides was like, "Don't stop," because they pretend to be tourists, but the only way they can tell that they go men if you look at their feet. And they actually caught it on camera. So from up above, it looked like a human, but then from below, it had the feet of a goat. So yeah, and the guy's like, "Holy beep! We just caught beep beep beep," and they drove back because they actually thought it was something in danger. And the host is like, "Yeah, just keep driving. Don't pick him up."
That reminds me of another legend. I mean, not necessarily a cryptid, because as far as I don't think there's any actual encounters of it, but it's more described in a Native American legend. There is something
Yeah.
that's known as the Deer Woman,
Yeah.
and that's a common legend that's often told down in Oklahoma, because it's an Oklahoma Native American legend. And the story goes, there's even been a short film based off the legend where it's described as a young woman who's like, very, very beautiful, in a way, very sexy looking in appearance.
Yes.
As the story goes, when some of these tribes would get together, especially male tribe members, the deer woman would try to approach them, and again, they would what they would see is, again, this very young, beautiful Native American woman, but she wears this cloth around her waist. It turns out below the waist are the legs of a deer, hence her name, the Deer Woman. And
Like a centaur.
so essentially she's half woman, half deer. And in some versions, it goes that she mainly targets men and kills them, just either for the ultimate thrill of it. Although some other versions go that she attacks and kills men when they have mistreated their wives or their girlfriends, their significant other. And on some occasions, too, sometimes even just seeing the deer woman is a warning, an omen of death.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
when you
So
mention
would her name be Jane Doe?
Yeah.
what's that? Wait, what?
Would her name be Jane Doe?
Oh, that's a really good question, actually.
Oh,
uh, I don't think they ever gave her a name, but the legend also goes to that if anybody happens to get a glimpse of her deer legs,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she's
They,
powerless.
they, they, they give you the directions to the shaver shop?
No, but I just know that she's powerless at that point to attack anyone. So I guess the story goes that if you encounter the deer woman, you better hope you see her deer legs, because
You don't make
if
fun.
not, and the way out she kills her victims too is literally by trampling them. So
Oh.
it's a pretty gruesome death, a very ugly attack, no doubt. So again, like I said, the only way to keep her away is
Movie,
to
Nick.
her legs. What's that?
Let's make a movie of it.
There's already been a movie made of it. I don't know if you guys ever, I don't know if you guys ever remember watching that series called Masters of Horror. It was from 20 years ago. They did director John Landis did an episode on that Native American story. Although his is a bit wackier than all the others. It's supposed to be like a comedy horror film compared to the other serious-minded episodes. But there's already been a film made on it.
Oh, we can make it better.
Yeah,
Who's
use
John
that
Landis?
hard-
Let's make it better.
Nikki, I wanted to
I know
ask
who
you.
he is. I know who he is. I'm just being a smart aleck.
Good night, Kate. You have a
Okay.
great night.
no worries, Kate. Have a good one.
I wanted to
Cheers,
answer your
Mr.
question.
Darkness.
I was going to answer your question, Nikki, as far as seeing cryptids, if I've seen any.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
well, Chris, you already know this. I mean, I've had what I believe may have been possibly 2 encounters with cryptids. Almost a decade ago, I had the opportunity to investigate the Mothman at the Moth in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Hey, Braxton, there he is. I was wondering when he was
Right.
going to show up. Hey, no problem. At least you're here right now. Better late than never, of course. But yeah, I did have the opportunity of
And he knows it's
investigating.
not better late than never, judging on the last stream.
But I did have the opportunity almost 10 years ago to investigate the Mothman in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. In fact, we actually did it during the Mothman Festival on the 50th anniversary of the original sightings that occurred back in the 60s.
Wow.
And we had the opportunity also to go to 3 of the TNT bunkers. And it was this past weekend. I would have gone to it, but I had another Paracon I had to go to. But this was one I went to back in 2016. It's a great event, I will admit. We got to investigate 3 of the bunkers in Point Pleasant. We didn't really get a lot much activity, but I did feel like that there was some kind of presence looking down right on me, like right on top, like as if something was right on top of us. Now these TNT bunkers that we went to, these were the type of spots that it was always believed that the Mothman was hiding when people were going out to search for him, and definitely definitely a very creepy place. But unlike other locations, these are locations that you can go to without having to worry about trespassing, because in a way they have unintentionally been open to the public. So once again, you don't have to worry about getting arrested or anything like that. But there are some bunkers, however, I will say, that are still somewhat off limits to visitors, because those bunkers were previously used to store explosives during World War II, when the TNT factory used to exist. The TNT factory is gone. However, although most of the bunkers you are allowed to investigate, some of those bunkers still have some of those explosives left from the war. And even though it's been over 80 years since World War II ended,
Yeah.
doesn't even matter. Those can still blow up. So again,
Yeah.
word of advice: if you decide to check out the TNT bunkers, please investigate carefully. It's not much of a worry in this case of being arrested. It's just that if you touch any of those explosives that are still within those bunkers, boom. That's all I gotta say. But anyways, to get back to the main point is, as far as, like I said, as far as, like I said, and as far as investigating when it came to the Mothman, um, if you want to call it a Mothman encounter, so even though I didn't necessarily actually see it or encounter it in any way, if you guys want to call it an actual like a Mothman encounter, so be it. But the only other thing I can think of as far as cryptids, and Chris, you know this all too well, is before I tell you, what the hell is that red flashlight keep seeing on the top of your camera?
You
I'm
find
just
with
experimenting with something.
I thought it was like a
It's
laser light or something you were using. Like, what the
It
hell
is.
is
I was trying something out outside. I was checking different
that?
because my
no,
window's right here.
you
You know,
shouldn't shine them at planes. They can get really nasty if you do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Outside with
Yeah.
Disney
Especially
Marks.
in Perth.
Oh boy, wow! Look at that.
That's right.
Yeah, the only other thing I could think, like cryptid, I could really say that I in some way encountered was, and Chris, you know all this too well, was when I encountered the rake at the Abbey that one time 2 years
Yeah.
ago. That's I think I already told that story before, but
Yes.
that
He
was
encountered
definitely
the right people.
What?
that was what's that?
He encountered the thing in the basement.
No,
Which
it was
thing?
up. It was
There's
like it
there
was
was
like
quite a
up
few.
in either on the second or third floor that I saw that creature.
Oh,
So
okay.
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't in the basement. It was not in the basement, but that is something I'll never truly forget. But that's as close as I've ever gone to a true cryptid, no doubt.
Yeah, with me, I believe I've kind of seen a cryptid, but it's more of like, I don't know what you guys, Robert, what would they call it? it's kind of like plant based, so like a spirit that's from the plant.
Shrifford?
Would it be? Yeah.
Plant-based.
So this thing, we were at Swan, yeah. So we're at Swanview Tunnel, and I saw like this black shadow in the ground. I'm like, okay, cool, do its thing, and then it kind of like morphed into a human being, and then it kind of looked and it stared at me for about 30 seconds, and I was like, hey, just let you. I come with peace, kindness, and respect. Like I don't mean any disrespect in any way, shape, or form. And then as soon as I said that, it kind of like did this creepy like wave, and I'm like, don't wave back. I was like, okay, and then it kind of like shifted back into the wall and yeah, left, and I'm just like, okay, that was not creepy. Right, walk through, all good.
Sounds like you encountered. I mean, it sounds almost like a type of like a shapeshifter almost.
Dryad or anything or
And,
something like that.
and, and the worst thing too, I was doing a tour at the time, so I'm like,
Okay.
hey guys, Paranormal Perth, we're going to go investigate location, and everyone's facing towards me, and I'm facing back, and I see the scene. I'm just like, okay, we can have fun. Everybody, and I'm like, get your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got
The
there
guy was
before?
with me. He's like, "You okay?" I'm like, yeah, I just saw a shadow that kind of turned into a human slash morphed back into the wall and kind of had like a plant base. But we're good.
So one of the daughters of the ladies that used to work at the Abbey, was it
Yeah.
Karina? Was it Karina?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I think so.
She drew this. She was sensitive. She could pick up on things. I mean, she was like 13
Yeah,
a couple
she's
years ago.
amazing.
So, but she drew. Oh, of course,
Go on.
there's glare.
I don't know if it's that. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I know there's kind of a reflection. I can see part of it though. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Now I can see it.
So this
It's
is
like
kind
that.
of what she described of what she saw. It's like shadow person, and then
Yeah.
I'm sure I could pull up some of the pictures that Dennis has gotten. He was down in the basement one time, and like he's shooting down the hallway, and like you could see the light filtering through from one of the rooms because they had outside windows, and then all of a sudden there's like this thing. It was
Oh yes, yes.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's definitely stuff at the Abbey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were. I've got lots of different EVPs and everything from the Abbey. I know I have at least one or two saying "Get out."
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which,
That's my friend.
okay?
That's my
He made
friend.
the list.
He lives like 2 houses down. Hi,
what
Corin.
are you doing, baby?
Ever heard of a
No.
hand lich? Lich is how it's pronounced. Oh, the Gangshi. If that's what he's referring, I know exactly what Braxton's referring. The Gangshi. That's a undead. That's a type of vampire from Chinese folklore.
Yeah.
Oh
So
shit.
yeah, it's a different type of. It's known as like it's the hopping vampire. I think it's called. Give me a second here while I'm looking because it's been a while since I've. Okay, so it is a type of undead or reanimated corpse in Chinese legends and folklore. Due to the influence of Hong Kong cinema, it is typically depicted in modern culture as a stiff corpse dressed in official garments from
You
the
said
King.
stiff.
Oh, wow.
I did from the King dynasty. Although the pronunciation of Gangshi varies in different East Asian countries, all of them refer to the Chinese version of vampire. It's commonly represented as hopping or leaping, and the appearance of it in both folklore and popular culture, the appearance of a Gangshi can range from that of a recently deceased person in a state of rigor mortis to that of a horrifying and horribly decayed and rotting corpse. Pretty much like that of a zombie in some way. The Gangshi always lacks the suppleness that characterizes
No, I
the
haven't.
living person or the Western vampire. And funny enough, I know what you're going to say, Chris, when I say this. The Chinese character for Gangxi, literally means hard or stiff. Um,
Yeah.
they also say here, too, that they're described as having greenish white
Sorry.
I'll take away my
skin.
calmness. I won't say it.
Yeah, they're described also with having greenish white skin, possibly deriving from fungus or mold growing on corpses. They have long hair and may behave like animals. They are ferocious, ravenous beings possessing extreme strength, being described as attacking men with brute force and clumsy violence. They are often represented as being capable of giving chase by running and sometimes by flying. A Gangxi came from the hills, soaring through the air to devour the infants of the people. So it's also kind of like your typical boogeyman story in those areas of China.
Is that a
Yeah,
boogeyman?
it's what's that?
This is a boogeyman, ain't it?
It's like a type of boogeyman in the Chinese culture. Now, a lot of people would think, what would you do if you were to encounter a Gangxi? You would think, like me, like you see in the Western vampire traditions, you would grab a stake or something like that. That's not going to work this time because you have to remember this is a Chinese vampire. Therefore, a wooden
Yeah, gotta
stake.
use a chopstick.
No, no. The bottom line is a wooden stake will not harm it. And part of this, I guess, this time they say that, like typical vampires, obviously they say that they can't be out during the day. They keep that up, but other than that, there were some other ways of supposedly warding off a Gangxi. The other thing too is when you encounter a Gangxi, unlike the traditional Western vampire, like where they drink blood or they drink blood or whatnot, they actually go after your chi, which is like your energy. So it's like an energy type of vampire. Goes after the energy instead of your blood. So the only way to also avoid getting attacked too is holding your breath, because the other version goes is that the other stories go that the Gangxi is often blind. It will only find you if it smells your breath.
So don't eat garlic.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah,
in
so
other words, so in other words, don't eat a Tic Tac.
Right?
Gangxis have, they also have, that's right, what Braxton said. They also have a scroll or a spell on their forehead. And Haints are in Southern Appalachian and Midwestern American horror take culture. Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
Halloween.
Well, yeah, I think I might stay in Australia. Thanks.
Right? Yeah, thanks. I don't go this.
I wouldn't be
I'm happy with
surprised.
my American vampires. As long as they're not sparkly, I don't mind them.
It's not yet so sparkly. I mean,
Twilight version.
I'm sure Australia does maybe have like its own version of the vampire over there. I wouldn't, because like just about almost every country and culture usually has vampires.
Oh yeah.
Much like in the
Julie,
case.
Robert.
Well, there's the vampire babysitter killer that was down in Brisbane. She originated from Rockhampton, and one of my best friends from up here, he was actually babysat by her. The one that went down and killed the guy and drank his blood.
I've heard of that case.
Yeah. So there are vampires here.
Wow.
Oh wow.
We were back when we used to.
Well, I'm not going to Tasmania.
Yeah. Back when I used to work with the old show from a few years ago, we actually did investigate. We interviewed someone down in New Orleans who claimed that he was a vampire, that he actually drank blood. I mean, not in the sense like you see in the horror movies. He would just drink small quantities of blood. Braxton would probably know what I'm talking about because he lives in Louisiana. That's part of Louisiana culture over there with the vampire scene.
Oh gosh.
There's a small or big difference between Haint's ghost,
Drink, guys.
wraiths, liches. As for a lich, hate and wraith, those are pure evil. Oh, I've heard of a few things about, but yeah, I've heard they're very negative entities. Hey, Joanne.
Hey, Joanne.
We'll wait until she comes back because it sounds like this was a question.
Cheep, cheep.
I've never heard of this. I've never heard of this one before.
Me neither.
Robert, do you know anything about it, or?
I haven't heard of that one. I don't really watch Survivor, so yeah, anything they hear on that, I.
Hey, Heather, haven't seen you here in a while. Good to see you.
Hey, I've never seen you before, but good to meet you.
She's watched some of our previous shows.
Nice to meet you, Heather.
She also watched a lot of Pickle Tom's live videos. But no, it's really good to see you here, Heather. It's been a long time since we've seen you on one of our shows here.
I didn't have to work. I was going to go to a con this weekend, but it's like 8 hours away.
Which con?
It was in Kansas. I just heard about it on Monday. And then I saw the times and everything. I was like, that's too far. It's just on a Saturday. I can't think of its name right now. But it's like southeastern Kansas something. And
oh, wow. So it's like pretty much on the other side of the state.
Yeah. So it was like 7.5 hours for me. And it began like at 9 a.m. and
you're going to be
on
close
a Saturday. And I don't get done working till like 7:30 at night. So
you're going to be close. In that case, you're going to be close to the Kansas-Oklahoma border then.
Yeah, it would have been. Exactly.
So, Nikki, Joanne had a question for you saying, have you heard that in a Survivor show, the hat they came across, some Bigfoot nests? Excuse me. Did you know anything about it?
I've heard roughly about it, but not much. Yeah. That's all I can say. Sorry, I haven't heard too much about it. And I think Robert might know a little bit more about it, but yeah, I can't answer that question properly. Sorry.
So Braxton confirms this, that there's a vampire subculture down, scene down there, the vampire cosplay. Oh, this is why. Here's what Heather said. Usually in bed by now. School night for the kiddos. Yeah, great to see you all too. Yeah, doing pretty well. Again, appreciate you stopping by, Heather. She said it was on the show Naked and Afraid. The last one, standing, season 3. Okay.
I don't know to watch that show.
My dad used to watch it, but he doesn't really watch
Never
it.
heard of it.
I'm naked. I'm usually afraid.
Heard of it, never seen it.
One of my husband's coworkers has been on that show a few times.
Oh, really?
So which one was he, naked or afraid?
Right? I don't know. I guess she's. I can't even tell you her name because he's told me, but I don't remember.
I was just thinking to myself.
Oh my God, that's bright.
I was going to say, that looks bright. I was just thinking to myself that I think I already talked about this previously, but speaking of Bigfoot nests, I was remember about a couple weeks ago, Nikki, when we were talking about when we had Jaden on with us, and when we were talking about some of the cryptids involving, especially like with the Aboriginal culture. You remember how I said that there was, I told you guys about that one creature in Australia. It's called the Megalania. Remember I told you guys about that previously?
Yeah.
I was just, so I may have already repeated this, but Chris, I don't think you were on, and I don't think you were on, Nicole, but where the Megalania is supposedly seen, it was like the largest monitor lizard that ever lived, which was like 20 to 30 feet long. So imagine.
I was watching, but I wasn't a part of it, no.
It was like the largest monitor lizard. I mean, supposedly it doesn't exist anymore, but there's been reports of this huge lizards in the Australian rainforest that are like the size of a school bus. And I found out that, but I mean, you might Nikki and Robert, you guys probably know this already, but from what I remember hearing was that bushwalkers frequently go missing in the Australian rainforest on a regular basis. And I remember hearing that in September of 2008, there was a video camera watch and a sandal that belonged to a missing hiker that were found on a riverbed in North Queensland. And even
Lost
more,
footage. Make a
yeah, I
movie
mean,
of
even
it.
more strangely, tracks of an unidentified animal were discovered nearby.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know you're talking about.
But did we ever see the footage?
They never said what was on the tape. I mean, they did the authorities who were investing. I think there's a news article still from, because again, this was back in, like I said, in September 2008, and they suspected supposedly it was may have been an actual alligator attack, but based on the tracks that they found, it did not identify that of an alligator at all. It was definitely something else, but
Well,
they
that's
never did follow up. They never did follow.
Babies.
Yeah, they never did follow up on the what happened to the missing hiker. So something tells me good likely chance that he was never found. So good likely chance now that it's been over 15 years since that occurred. Very likely he's presumed dead. So
Yes,
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Heather, it was.
A lot of people do go missing back in
TikTok.
up north.
yeah. Well, I was going to
That's
say that's
you're on the top
very
because
sparsely
If
populated
you
outback.
from about Tweed Heads upwards, there's trucks in most of the waterways, most of the rivers, even the ocean. So there's salt waters and freshwater crocs all the way from about the bottom of Queensland
yeah,
upwards.
it'd be
That includes New South Wales, not New South Wales, but Western Australia as well, all the way across up into Northern Territory.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so many of them.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was,
One I've heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that?
Go back to trying to destroy
I mean, if you
your
do,
camera there. Yeah, up in far north Queensland, up past Cairns in what was it, Port something or other off that way. There were two women
Port Douglas.
going for a swim at night in the ocean, and one of them led the other one into there, and the one that led the other in got back out shortly after, but the one that was drawn in was taken by a croc, and she was killed. So
Oh man.
yeah, it's, you just don't know where they are. So don't go in the waters if you can avoid it.
Yeah, that's something that you always have to worry
Stay
about.
in the boat, people.
Yeah, that's something you always got to, especially when you're going out at night. I mean, in the case with this,
And if you hear dun dun dun,
then you got to deal with sharks.
Sharks.
Well, in the case, like I said, with the missing hiker, they never found out whatever happened to him, and more importantly, too, is that they never could identify these mysterious tracks. I mean, could have been maybe evidence of a megalania, not only just evidence, but also even going as far as attacking and killing someone. It's hard to say, but that's what some of the locals pointed out, that it could have been a megalania. But again, that's still debatable. But yeah, they never did say what was on.
Best advice I can give people when you come to Australia. Yeah, if you ever go out in the outback, and I mean the outback, go in pairs. Do not leave your vehicle and take water with you. And if you do get stuck, do not leave your vehicle and stay with your water, because you'll die within 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, I heard it's
Yeah,
the
that's really a
outback.
tip.
I've heard about the outback, that it's a
It's
very
bad.
dangerous area if you don't have all the survival, the
Yeah.
survival gear you need. And I know that's an area where there's very, very few
Yeah.
people that live in the area.
And also, you've got old mine shafts. We actually have two. I'll put it up on the post. We actually have two people from Western Australia that went out back, and they're still missing. They assumed passed, A body was found in one of the mine shafts, but the partner is still missing. She's been missing, I believe, for about 9 years now. I'll put a post of her face up later. So yeah, please do not leave your vehicle if it gets stuck, and take plenty of water
Tail hurts, baby girl.
I was just thinking. I
because
mean,
you'll probably die.
This is more involving
It's
a
literally just
this more involves a horror movie, but I'm sure, Nikki, I think you said you've never seen it, but I think you said you've heard it's an Australian horror movie. Is the movie Wolf Creek, which
oh
I know
yes,
is based off of the Ivan Millet murders that happened across Australia's east coast, I think, in the outback area, and which the Wolf Creek I know there's been a sequel made. They're making a third one currently. John Jarrett is going to be
yeah.
reprising his role, and I know for a brief period they also made a television
Oh,
series out of it. But I mean, that franchise is a gruesome series. No, that's not like your typical slasher, craze. But
yeah.
um, when it comes to that type of movie, it really goes to show it's not even just about what the movie's about, because it takes place in the outback, and it just goes to show how vulnerable
Mhm.
and dangerous you really are when you're in a real terrible situation out in the outback, knowing that you're miles away from any civilization.
Yeah. Sorry, it was 10 years ago. They've been
Okay,
missing.
there was one guy who said
Um, Nick,
he
can you put this? Can you put this up in the big
yeah,
screen?
I was gonna full screen it. I wasn't sure if you were gonna bring it back, but you're on full screen now.
Jesus, hurry up!
And hang on one
I'll
second.
see if I can find a better photo. But oh god, yeah, the
Yeah,
photo's quite bad. I might go back and have a proper look. Take me off. Take me off. I don't like being big screen. Thanks.
we can definitely see the captions too.
Yeah. I just sent you a weird video I saw today, Nick, and I don't know if you want to play it for everybody or.
I'll check it out after the show. But there
Yeah.
was actually one guy who said,
Excuse me.
and Nikki, I'm sure you could probably confirm this with me, but there was one guy who once said in a documentary that he said he's driven across the outback, and he's not, and he literally was saying with, like, not even joking. He says that if you ever drive, like Chris, here's advice for you too. He once said that if you ever get the opportunity
Mm,
to go out to Australia, if you're driving across the outback, you get out of your car, and even if you made the loudest, highest scream that you've ever made in your entire life, it will not matter. Literally, not a soul in the world is going to hear you. No one.
nobody there.
Yeah, you're completely on your own.
I've
No.
heard that.
So
I've heard that before.
Nick, I'm going to send you a photo
sure,
of these people. They are still missing.
yeah, go right ahead.
And the scary thing, and the really sad thing is, the female was actually one of my customers. So,
Oh,
yeah,
jeez, that's really sad to hear.
yeah, yeah. Where are we? Nick Muir.
You do that.
Yeah, that's always something I'm always. I mean, trust me, I really want to go to Australia myself, but getting out to the outback has kind of been a concern for me, knowing it is just such an area that it is so easy
Yeah,
to
don't.
get lost out to.
And it's a flight over there too.
It is.
And
I mean, it really the outback. I mean, when you look back again, like at the Ivan Millet murders and probably additional murders that have occurred over the years, if not decades, knowing that it's far from any type of civilization, it's definitely, as much as I hate to say it, the perfect place truly to hide a body if someone murdered somebody. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I can see what you're talking about, Nikki. That's really sad to hear.
before Nick put, just so you know, before Nick shows the photo, these are photos of deceased people. there is a $2 million reward for any information on these people that have gone missing.
Nick Files.
If
We'll
you
send
like,
you some.
Nikki, I could share it on the screen instead of showing it on my phone.
You can do it, Nick.
You can do it.
Okay,
Come
so
on, Nick.
give me 1 second here while I'm getting this ready.
Be a good neighbor.
Come to Australia. Be like Moana and get lost.
Okay,
Sometimes
but
where you're going.
with all jokes aside, though, yeah, this is what Nikki was talking about. It's really sad to see that these guys have not been found.
Oh,
Well, it says remains found, so they have been found.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, I take
The
that
killer
back.
has
The remains were found, but
the
they were
person who did it
already
hasn't.
deceased.
they were not alive when they found. Like those two hunters here in Colorado.
Right?
It's just like any type of rural area you go to. Is that if you don't know your way around, it's very easy to get lost. Nonetheless,
Easy as. Yep.
Get lost, eh?
Yeah. Did you see, Chris, that those two
so
hunters?
funny.
It was lightning
Yes.
killed them.
I
Supposedly.
just saw that this morning.
Of this one.
It's crazy.
oh, whoops, sorry guys.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
it has a when it comes to sharing, it's got a funny way of functioning. So I'm not sure why it does that.
You said,
So you were going to say, Chris, about there were two hikers or something like that, or
hikers, hunters, were they?
Hunters?
Nicole?
They were out hunting. Yeah.
They're out hunting and went missing here in Colorado, and they got found too. Lightning killed them.
Oh, that's quite an unusual circumstance. Getting struck by lightning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
two of them too.
The coroner said that the lightning killed them. They were pretty young.
Like
Yeah.
were they like in their 20s or 30s or?
I think 20s, but I
I
could
think
be wrong.
20s. Yeah.
I'm not looking at any information on it right now, but
They look pretty young.
yeah, they look young.
So don't go hunting for their impala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the German backpacker that got found in the outback?
No.
No, I didn't hear anything about that.
So, she went off-road,
No.
and she was found alive several days afterwards.
Is that the one that survived on chocolate?
Yep.
Yeah. I had heard about that one.
At least she had something to keep her. I mean, at least she had some type of survival gear with her. At least something to keep her. At least something to keep her. Fed. Yeah. So is it? So this leads to the question that so is it when people go out to the outback? I mean, whether they're residents or if they're just visitors in general or like tourists. I mean, is it like for people who get lost? Is that a common thing that happens over there, or is that
more common than what you think? Yeah.
Oh man,
yes. It looks.
Especially if they follow
the outback literally looks like.
If they go by the GPS, I'll get lost even quicker.
Here, I'll full screen of you again, Nikki, so you can show it. Sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. Don't mind me. Just look at my face.
Yeah.
Because on their way down to Gympie, at one point in time, we come from Rockhampton down to Gympie, but we had a detour because the GPS said, "Oh, go right now." So we went right, went along this dirt track basically, which led to another highway. We were on the Bruce Highway going down, went to another highway down further inland and then out again, back onto the Bruce Highway, and it only saved about 5 minutes.
Oh wow!
So GPS.
It's amazing. Also, Nikki, when you showed the picture, I
Then
mean,
you have
just seeing that
spiders, you have snakes, you have reptiles.
Mm-hmm.
well, and just see that the outback is nothing but just flat land. I mean, there's not even any trees. And
There are sometimes, yeah.
yeah, I've
No.
I was gonna say, well, maybe not. I was gonna say maybe not entirely. I mean, every now and then, yeah, you do see the typical tree every now and then, but it's just like all flat land. There's just like
Well,
nothing.
that's the perception given of the Gibson Desert,
Oh, really?
and
Okay.
that's not. There's hills, there's dunes, there's
Yeah.
scrub brush, lots of animals out there, and they know how to hide. Because, like you're talking about the goanna, there's goannas out there. There's camels. Camels were introduced.
Yeah.
They came. Chris, you're going to stuff up your camera.
Yeah.
So if you want to stuff up your camera, go ahead. But I'm just warning you, you won't be seen again. Yeah.
I've heard that threat before.
I'm sure, like with such a view like that too. I mean, again, just with all the as far as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure it's
Yeah.
probably not unusual. I mean, it's probably not unusual to see like when you were talking, like when you were bringing up Nikki about like wildlife there. I mean, mostly a lot of the dangerous type, but I'm sure it's not unusual to
Yeah.
see like
Yeah.
kangaroos like in groups out in the outback. If that's correct.
Kangaroos.
Robert, I would say yes. Never been there. Don't want to. Yeah. So I'm just trying to find something.
To me, that the outback kind of even remind me a little bit of with what we have over here. I mean, obviously not in my area, but kind of remind me a bit of like the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles because they kind of have like a similar layout like that with all the flat land they have. Although
Yeah.
I think over there, I think over in the panhandles, it's a little bit more populated because there are a few rural towns here and there, and there's also a couple more farmhouses scattered around. But even then, it just kind of remind me of the the panhandles we have over here, and Colorado has a little bit of that too, don't they, Chris? It has kind of
On
that
the east.
Oh yeah.
on the east side, I think.
Yep. Everything
Yeah.
east.
Plains. Yep.
Yep.
Goes the west side.
The rain and the plain.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Robert. I saw that you sent a private message. I'm
Yeah.
just reading it now.
That's fine.
I don't want to know what his private message said.
It's nothing bad.
Well, at least, Chris, we're not in the red light district.
Yeah,
Put that on yourself.
Chris is quite in the red light district. Chris is quite in the red light district tonight.
Red light district.
That's really interesting. Wow.
I had to play with it other people.
No, you don't have to play with it. You can be untomed. You don't have to be a tom. You don't have to play with the good stuff.
I'll be like Jeremy and my ding won't work.
That sounds so wrong.
They often play with things all during their interviews.
Yeah. So here's a question. For
Whatever you do in your own time is your own time, but yeah.
Yeah. So here's a question for you and your.
We're not that tough paranormal show.
So here's a question for you and your team, Nikki. I mean, since we've been talking about the Outback,
Mhm.
have you guys ever investigated any locations that were like within the Outback area?
Not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet. We're planning to, but no, not yet. We're planning to do Kalgoorlie, which is 8 hours drive from Perth. So,
Oh wow.
yep.
I want to investigate somewhere in Denver. I
That's
don't know where
right.
yet.
There's lots of places here in Denver.
Yeah.
Cheeseman
not-
Park.
Oh
Go
yeah,
to the place called John.
yeah.
John Denver.
I just got to find a new place to investigate now.
No.
Well, wherever these locations you're going to be going to, Nikki, especially if they're going to be out to going to be in the outback. I mean, obviously, I don't even have to say it twice, but
Take
knowing
water,
just how vast,
shelter, hats, sunscreen.
I mean, just knowing the vast emptiness, I'll just say ahead of time for you, whenever you guys are going to be going, definitely proceed with extreme caution.
Mm. Yeah, well, you would have seen the photos I took just going out
My
to
husband and
Jericho.
my daughter went out.
Like
Extreme.
Jericho back,
Yeah.
it was
My
there
daughter.
was lands, there was mountains, there was desert. That was just
Oh,
in here.
okay. So
We went.
there's like different geographic areas then.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have.
like from here, we went from here to
Yeah,
Emeralds.
like
Then
Kalgoorlie is one of the biggest mining sites in WA.
Yeah, because I kind of forgotten that parts of. I mean, I know the outback fully isn't just like desert. I know there's some grassland and, like I said, a typical tree every now and then. But I wasn't sure if there were like mountainsides. But now that you describe that, Robert, I mean that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, Emerald. Then there's the gem fields, which is they've dug up a lot of the place, so it's mostly dirt. Further on, there's several hills, some really deep ravine type things as you're driving along. They've only recently upgraded the road to an actual bitumen highway out to where we were going. It had been just a track. So out to Jericho is now a sealed highway. But yeah, they've only recently done it. So it's good to go out there now.
So this is
Yep. It's really fantastic. Yeah, it is. Okay.
yeah. Sorry, Robert.
You're right.
I
Because we were
was
looking at
holding it.
a place out there as well before we decided on the place that we have gotten. So yeah, we like to go and actually visit the place to see if we like the area first before going. And I really didn't like the area that was out there. So
Yeah.
we chose the place down south.
Mm.
So
So
there was another question that I had, and it just left my
with
head.
that in mind,
I hate it whenever you have like a question you want to ask, and all of a sudden you just lose it. That's always so annoying.
that's sparkling.
The train
That's
departed
all
without
the
you.
sparkliness.
We found it.
I said the train departed without you.
We found it.
Happens to me
Speaking
all
of
the
train.
time.
I know it happens to Chris sometimes too.
Maybe a lot.
Then again, it probably may also be Robert. You'd understand this. It's probably also from the results of playing Minecraft with all the fights and stuff.
Most likely, all those arrows. Yes.
The arrows, yeah.
The only thing I know about Minecraft is what watching my daughter play. That's it.
Oh God, you'd be. It's a long story. In fact,
they play Minecraft sometimes.
Yeah, we play Minecraft almost every Sunday. Me, Robert, and also Kate, who was watching. She played. She's in fact the one who got us into it, along with also Tom Nally and Don. So it's quite an ordeal when we play it. That's all I can really say. I die a lot in the game. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
People.
Of course, I always have to deal with the golf.
And I play golf.
Yeah, and we play golf it too. It's been a long time. It's been a couple weeks since we played that.
You were supposed to play
tonight.
I saw that later on, but I thought to myself, I have to do supernatural talk, and then after that, Nikki, you messaged me about wanting to do it. And not to mention, like I said, I was on some important phone calls I had to make. So it's
important phone calls.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I had to take it.
Stop playing with it. Down. Put it down.
Yeah,
You what?
you're putting yourself too much into
You're gonna
the
fry
realm
your
of
brain.
conflict.
I said he's gonna fry his brain. Red light. It's like a deer that looks in the headlights, or a kangaroo
I was going to
lights.
say it does kind of look like car lights in a way.
Yeah. Oh. Do
So
you guys? Oh,
Now you just got to put a
do you
ring in
guys have
there.
any investigations coming up?
Any investigations? Not yet.
Not here. No.
Working.
Life's so much to be truculent.
Still working on that one. Trying to.
no investigations for me just
I've
yet.
got one
Like,
tomorrow night.
what was
Okay,
that?
good to go.
Most I've got going on is working on the prosthetic, just walking outside and walking around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good. How's it going?
yeah, no investigations for me, at least not yet. Although I've probably said this before, but one of my one of my former investigators, but still a good friend of mine, we're considering about doing a few cemetery crawls in October. But exactly which cemeteries we're going to go to, we're still not entirely sure. Or when we're not sure. It's still kind of in early development. But in the meantime, I do have another Paracon happening next next Saturday. We have
Oh.
Go on.
yeah, we have the Rock Island
Oh,
Paracon
cool.
that's going to be happening out in Rock Island, Illinois. That's like right on. It's on the western. It's literally like right on the Illinois Iowa border. So it's like right next to the Mississippi River. I think from what I remember hearing was we were going to stay on the Iowa side of the river for the hotel, and with Rock Island just being across the river, we would just cross back into Rock Island for the event, then go back to Iowa to stay the night, and then after that head back home. It's a 1 day event, but we're supposed to have a lot of
A lot
investigators
of fun.
coming out to it. Yes, I go to a lot of Paracons, but this is my first time going to this particular one, so it's going to be a new one. Looking forward to it.
Well,
As of right
Nick,
now, I only have about 3 Paracons left for the rest of this year. I got
well,
next.
just remember, rock on.
Yeah, yeah, we got the Rock Island Paracon next weekend. Then near the end of October, possibly we haven't been fully confirmed yet. We also
Yeah.
have the Para Unity Convention that's going to be down in Peru, Indiana. That is actually that is actually Para Unity Convention that's going to be held down in Peru, Indiana. That's going to be held, in fact, by Jeremy and Linda.
Oh,
So it's
cool.
going to be like the official kind of like Things Ghost Society's paranormal convention. It's going to be it's a smaller event. It's also going to be a 1 day event. Hopefully, we're going to make it out. And then finally,
Excuse me. Sorry.
November, and then finally in November, November 14th to the 15th, we have the Dark Arts and Oddities Con in DeKalb, which is about 70 miles west of here. So I would say by around mid-November, I'll pretty much be, as far as Paracons are concerned, we're going to be pretty much done for the season.
Well, Nick, me and Mom are planning a trip out to Central Illinois or Central Indiana.
Oh, okay.
Sometime. So I told her I'm gonna have to gather up my friends around there, and we're gonna have to do some other stuff for a day or so. She said, "Okay, that includes like you and stuff."
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're going to be going, I mean, getting down to Central Indiana for me is only about 3-4 hour drive for me. So, and don't forget, I'm only an hour away from the Illinois Indiana border. So
Yeah,
it's only going to be like about 3-4 hour drive for me to get down to the central part of the state, and that would pretty much probably would be the same thing also for Jeremy. Although I think it might be a little bit lesser for Jeremy. For Jeremy, it's going to be at least 3 hours for him.
yeah.
So yeah, if you guys want to do something while you're down in Central Indiana, you could definitely do
Yeah.
something.
My mom would probably just stay with her sisters, but I told her I'm taking a day or a day and a night, and I'm doing something with my friends.
Yeah, I was originally going to say, what was down in central Indiana for you otherwise?
my my aunt, both my aunts.
Actually, funny enough, you said that. My mom also has a couple cousins and a couple cousins of her own that also live in, I think, in the central part of Indiana.
Yeah,
So it
and
seems like it's
cousins.
kind of the popular area for like relatives to live in.
Right. Things relative, central Indiana.
You know exactly when
Well,
you guys
if
know
we're ever in
exactly
Australia,
I'm
when
not sure yet. When I find out more details, I'll shoot you something, a text, an email, tell
yeah,
you on the
definitely
air.
make sure to get that
yeah.
sent out to
What do I have coming up?
not
I've
only
got
myself but also Jeremy too.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying something, Nikki?
a coming up. So I've got a paranormal. What am I doing? Paranormal. Oh my god! Nah, it's gone. It's lost the train.
So,
Oh my god.
Take your
Okay,
time.
there,
Take
there we
your time.
go. I've got to re-say that. I've got a paranormal investigation tomorrow. We've invited some of the public to join us, so that's going to be interesting. At one of the most haunted pubs in WA, and then we have got nothing in October yet. In November, we're doing a prison. Then we've got another hotel, and then we're done for the year. And then we take about a month off, and then we come back in February, and hopefully we've got some other locations lined up. So
Now, when you guys
yeah.
go to this bar
Busy,
that you
busy,
guys are
busy.
going to this upcoming, is this a location you guys investigated before, or is this a new location?
So this one, I call it my little paranormal home away from home. So it's I'm not going to say where it is on here because yeah, limit space. But
Yeah.
we have been there before, and yeah, a lot of activity. I've been there probably about 10 times. Yeah, I've been there a lot. As soon as I walk in there, I'm like, "Hey Ava, how you doing? You can come play with my toys. You can touch my leg." And then she's like, "Woo!" Cat balls going off, REM pods going off. This is the location where everything has happened. So I've been touched. Um, I've seen dark shadows. I've seen apparitions. I've seen doors slam. I've seen cat balls, REM pods, lights flash on and off. They even had issues with their CT footage at one point. Um, so I got a phone call from the manager, and they're like, "Hey, have you guys touched any of our CT footage?" And I'm like, "Well, we're not going to be able to reach unless we get on a 2 meter ladder." And everything went black on their security camera. And then I'm like, "Patty, if you're playing with that, can you turn it back on again? Because I need it on, for security purposes." As soon as I said it, everything went back on again. So it could have been, Patty mucking around with the camera gear, but it could have been, natural stuff at the same time. Well, yeah, Patty likes to play with the equipment. So there's a little bit of a hint for people that are in WA. So,
So it
yeah.
sounds like this is definitely one of your favorite locations then.
Yeah, I love it. Little Ava. And it's funny because we'll go down there like during the day and stuff, and Ava will like play with my feet. I'm like, "Sweetie, I'm trying to eat dinner with my family. Can you nicely go upstairs and play with the cat balls that I've left up there?" Because I always leave something up there for her to play with. So yeah,
Well, that sounds great to
looking
hear
forward to
that
that
you
one.
guys.
We've done. Thank you. A few weeks ago, we did 2J Town Hall. That was pretty active. That's about an hour's drive up from Perth. We've done the jail there. We've done the prison. Um,
wanted
what other locations? Oh shit! And we're doing Sunset Hospital in November. That place is fudged.
Oh, really? It must be
It
that
reminds
bad.
me of yeah, it's very big. Um, that's, yeah, that's where the first time I got choked to the point I almost passed out. So, I'm going back putting my big boots on, and I'm gonna be like, yo, you're not touching me, you're not hurting me in any way, shape, or form, but you can close my equipment. So
I was just recently. I know you said that you were also going to be
So,
investigating
yeah,
a jail.
that's my
Yeah, I also recently found. I know you said that you guys were going to be investigating a jail real soon. Um, I was just looking up a historic prison that is located down in New South Wales. If you got, both Nikki and Robert. I'm sure you guys heard of this place. Maybe. Uh, you guys familiar with the location called Goulburn Correctional Center? Okay, you know what it is, Rob? Do you know what it is, Nikki?
Well, Goulburn,
yeah,
that I'm not sure if that's the one that was closed down. No,
yeah.
that's not the one.
That's where
That was
Jane.
Maitland Jail that was closed down.
Okay.
But Goulburn, I have heard of it. Haven't seen
Yes.
anyone investigate it though yet.
No, because unfortunately, I mean, I'm even looking on the Wikipedia page of it right now. As of right now, it's still in operation, so you
Yeah,
can't get
yeah,
any
you're right.
access into it unless, of course, you've been
Oh, you
arrested and
can't go
sentenced.
slap a cop.
Yeah, or if you work there, yeah, yeah. I mean, I just look at I was just looking at the structure just the other day. I'm looking at the picture of it now,
Uh-huh.
and it's just. I mean, not only am I still surprised that it's still in operation even to this day, because it said it was built in eight built and opened in 1884, and as of right now, there's no plans of closing it down.
Yeah.
But just knowing the exact, the amount of
Mm-hmm.
history that is passed in such a prison complex like Goulburn, and you just can't help but wonder just the amount of activity that must go on. Like with a lot of the because I don't know like the entire story behind Goldburn, at least not yet. But just knowing how much activity could probably be picked up from
Yeah.
that location, it's got to be quite intense for because that is Australia's super max, not just for New South Wales, but that's basically their super maximum security facility for all of Australia for the most part.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Pretty
So yeah,
nice.
even though it's
Won't want to be in there.
even though it's still in
I'll show you the
operation,
prison.
it is on the heritage listing, so it does have it is marked as a historic site, even as it's operational. Oh, do you have a picture of it?
He
Yeah.
has a
So
picture.
Yeah,
this
that
is a prison. Oh, shit. Ah,
Gold
hang
burn?
on. Yep, I've got a picture. So that's the prison.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, okay.
wait, whoever's messing. So that's the prison. Classed down as the roundhouse.
Oh,
Besides a prison, it was actually used as a home at one point. This is the inside.
Funny.
okay, hang on. Oh, that's the inside. Okay, I had no idea
So
that
you've got
they. Go ahead, go ahead.
there's some more photos. Um, Nick.
Yeah,
So there's some more photos. Those bits, where am I? They used to be headquarters, so people actually lived there at one point. And also they've only had one death in that prison, which was a young boy who unfortunately killed a family member and was sentenced to death by hanging. He was the only person that was actually killed at that prison from 4 crimes. But yeah, also they have a tunnel underneath. So this is what. So underneath, they actually have that hole. They used to bring whales through it when they did fishing and stuff like that.
oh, wow.
Also, the prisoners had to actually build the jail itself. So yeah, not very active. I kind of freaked out the tour guide as well because he's like, "Oh, are you picking up anything?" And I'm like, "The door's behind me. There's a guy, red, like he's skinny, red and bone. He's got red hair, beard. And he looked at me and he's like, how do you know? And I'm like, because I'm a medium clairvoyant. And he's like, that's the guy that hangs around that jail cell. And I was like, yeah, pretty much.
That's really fascinating that they
Yeah.
even have an area like they even brought whales in. Like, wow, check that out.
Yeah.
So, and
There
it also
is,
sounds
I've
like
had my name called.
well, it also sounds like too, from what I'm understanding, is like knowing that the inmates built the prison. I mean, obviously that's not unusual because a lot of our historic prisons that we have here, a vast majority of them were also constructed by the prisoners themselves.
Yep.
I might send you some photos, Nick.
Yeah,
Yep.
I had my name called. Didn't hear it at the time because I was just doing my thing. And it's like one of my team members, she was lying down on the floor doing an Estes, and in the spirit it goes, she's lazy. And James is like, yeah, she's a little bit lazy. And it goes, get up. And I'm like, obviously she's out cold, she can't hear what we're saying. And then it goes, Nick, can you move forward? So it's like, why do you want me to move forward? And it goes, please move forward. So I move forward. And then it goes, we want her to leave. So I left. And then it goes, we want her to come back. So I came back again. And then underneath the breath, you actually hear it on camera, you just hear, and I could smell it smelled like rotten flesh. And I'm just
jeez.
like, yeah, it's turning. But yeah, and we've got orbs in there. My name is called. Very active. One of my team members at the time had not a good experience, but it is what it is. Also, one of the cells was that Nick's going to put up.
Yeah, I was just about to put them up right now,
Um,
so I'm gonna full screen it.
unfortunately, it's okay.
What is that?
So that is James, one of my lovely team members. The cell that's on the left, um, I don't know if you can zoom in, Nick. The cell on the left,
I could
it was
try.
actually a jail cell, but they didn't actually have a door at the time. And yep, that one.
Yeah, I
The
can't
inmate
really
actually
zoom
died
in
from
too much, but I could zoom in a
being too
little bit.
cold. And when we're in there, the spirit was like, yeah, he's like, I'm cold. I can feel chills down my spine every time I walk into that. That one I don't like. I will go back in there, but yeah. Also, half body apparitions. Obviously, you can't see it on that one, but I'll try and send you another one.
Yeah, I was gonna
It
go on
looks
to
like there's a male standing in the doorway.
here. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Is this another photo from the same area?
Yeah, this is the whole location. Yeah. Um, oh, I'm not playing that. I'm not playing that. Um, no, that's a bag that can be debunked. Where is the photo?
Right here.
No. Um, what the fudge is that? Okay, no, my eyes are playing tricks. That's all right. It's reflection. I was like, but yeah, this place is very active. Rooms are very small. But yeah, absolutely love it. I'm planning to go back. So,
Now, is this one of the cells right here that we're looking at in this picture?
so that one they actually used as part of the homestead. So on the right, you can see kind of half of the fireplace in there.
Yeah.
I did an Estes in there. All the stuff came through. Didn't like one of my investigators, unfortunately, kept saying her name and telling her to leave. Um, but yeah. Also, the tour guide that came with us, he was a little bit freaked out because he never did an Estes before. He's like, "Oh, I really want to do this," and I'm like, "Okay, you're gonna hear." And then when spirit comes through, you hear names, and he sat there, his face just dropped, and he was like, "That's a tour guide that actually recently passed away, and his name was
Wow.
coming through." And stuff like that, and how he died, it actually came through. So that's James, one of my lovely investigators as well. He'll go into any location. You want to chuck him in there? I'll be like, "This is what happened." He's like, "Yeah, I'm going in there." So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is the Same picture. Well, not same picture, but a brighter photo of it.
Ring the bell.
And then this one over here.
Yeah, that's weird.
And finally, this is the last one.
So look, yeah, but we find it a little bit weird because above me, I'm the one in the middle. You can see that light in the bar.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Yep.
Yeah.
The rest, you guys see
But
that
what
too?
I'm thinking is, because what I'm thinking is, it maybe back in the day they actually had people that walked on the roof, looking down at the prisoners with torches or lamps.
Yeah,
So it may be,
like guards.
yeah, God's walking around. So yeah, that place very active. Planning to go back there. Absolutely love it.
That'd be a place
I'll show
I'd want
you
to investigate.
Sunset Hospital. That place is huge. I'll send you a photo.
Well, while you're doing that, it's funny you brought that up because we actually have. Oops, sorry. We actually have a roundhouse of our own. So over here we had a maximum security facility that was called Statesville Prison, which was located down in Crest Hill. It's about an hour of where I live, and Statesville was built 100 years ago.
No
Back in 19
touching.
was built back in 1925, and funny enough, it was supposed to replace the older and smaller Joliet Correctional Facility, but for some reason whatsoever, those plans never materialized, and both prisons still operated literally like within 2 miles away of each other until Joliet finally closed its doors for good in 2002. But Statesville continued in operation until, ironically, 2025. So literally 100 years after it was built and opened, it closed down this year. Now, one of the features that Statesville Prison had, ironically enough, was also another roundhouse, and the roundhouse it was based on a 19th century idea. I don't remember exactly where. In fact, even Cuba tried to build their own roundhouse, taking inspiration from the Illinois roundhouse that we had here in Statesville. But the one that they built down in Cuba was never completed. It's still standing, but it's just like the skeleton of it is still stand. The skeleton of it is still standing today. Um, but the difference was with the roundhouse. I don't know if they had in the same one for the one that you went to, Nikki, but the roundhouse that we had in Statesville
Yeah.
Prison, it was designed to not only be a super maximum security facility, but more importantly, it was designed that if you were a guard, no matter which direction you turned, there was always inmates that you were keeping an eye on. It was also an all male facility too, and that was there used to be four. When it first opened, there were four roundhouses to begin with. However, three have since been demolished, leaving only Roundhouse F, I believe, either Roundhouse E or F that is still standing. And in 2016, they decided to close down the Roundhouse, but they were going to keep it because of its historical significance. Now, in 2020, the Roundhouse was briefly used to house inmates that were infected with COVID-19. So it was like used as a medical and separate facility for those with active COVID. And but eventually they stopped using it, and then, like I said, altogether, Statesville closed earlier this year for good. Unfortunately, from what I'm hearing, is that unlike the case with Joliet Prison, there's talks about wanting to demolish Statesville Prison, which not everybody's on the same page for that. We are trying our best to save Statesville from being demolished, including the roundhouse there, but I don't know exactly what's going to happen. From what I also heard too is that they said they might also consider about demolishing Statesville because it was in really bad like I understand if it was in really bad shape and if it was inaccessible, but to demolish it if it's still in relatively good shape, to me that's just quite a waste, especially with the roundhouse they have within the maximum security facility.
That's insane.
Yeah,
Sad.
it is. It really is. As of right now, they have not made an official confirmation they're going to do it, but there are still historians out there that, unless proven to show that it's in really bad shape, they are still trying to continuing their efforts of trying to save Statesville Prison from demolition, especially since this year marks its 100th birthday.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And just like most typical, like I said, just like a lot, like I just said a few minutes ago, just like a lot of these prisons that were built in the late 18th, 19th, and early 20th centuries, I think it was built by inmate laborers. So I think the inmates were the ones who built that facility.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, did you want to quickly show the photo and then we'll head
Oh
off?
yes, I'll show it. And I think
So,
you said you wanted to wrap up soon, so
yes.
yeah, we'll wrap up after showing these pictures. All right, so here.
Picture. Yeah.
Oh, just one picture. Okay.
This is from above. Yeah, I don't have drones, so unfortunately I can't take photos from above. But
Oh, really?
this
Okay.
is pretty much the set of it.
Yeah, I noticed Robert hasn't come back yet, so hopefully he'll be back right before he ends. So this should give him,
Hopefully he's
at least
okay.
at least another 2 or 3 minutes or so before we have to end. So
Yeah.
hang on adding to it, because I'm having trouble remembering sharing the screen once again. Again, it's such a more bigger challenge than it is with StreamYard. Okay,
Yes.
here we go. Oh, Robert's back. There we go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So this is Sunset Hospital. It is fucking.
Oh, that's above. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a bird's eye view.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what has happened over there, Nikki?
It was originally used as a facility for men that came back from the war. Also, it was used as a facility for people with PSD. And then a lovely gentleman bought it and then used it as a location for people that are homeless, men and women. And then the government took over, I believe, in 2000-ish. It was built in 1906. Claremont Old Man Home housed 750 men. Used as an infirmary. Closed in 1995. My bad. Sorry, I'm just googling. They may be refurbishing it in certain areas, which would be good. And it is actually shut to the public, so you can't actually physically get into the rooms, but you can walk around the gardens and stuff like that. And when we were in there, we had an opportunity to go inside of it, which was quite interesting. A little bit unsafe because the roof was caved in, and back then they had asbestos. So,
Oh boy,
yeah, because the security guard that was at the time, he thought someone had actually broken into the building. And because our team had a lot of people at the time, he's like, do you mind coming up with me as backup? I'm like, yeah, no worries. And we just walk around and there's mirrors everywhere, and it's like, ghosts have been here. And I'm like, that's cool. And then I was like, oh, and he's like, oh, I don't believe in spirits, blah, And I was like, wait a second. I'm like, if there's anyone in this building that is a spirit, can you slam the door? Wow, boom, and the whole building shook. And he's like, yeah, I'm out. He grabbed his torch and ran.
They sure showed him.
Like, well, that's sure. And he's like, I've only been here for 2 weeks. I was like, well, that's what you get for being a bit of a dick. But yeah, but you have to be really careful because you can actually there has been reports of homeless people going in there, and people breaking in and stuff like that. So we did actually speak to the first time we went there. We actually spoke to one of the security guards, and she was like, "This place is haunted." They've had workmen there. They've had reports of workmen's tools being thrown at them, their hats being ripped off, their glasses being ripped off. Ladders have been pushed over and almost hit them. They've had door slamming, pretty much everything that you can think of has happened at that location. But most of the time, it's pretty pleasant. I mean, the one time that it was a little bit negative, but yeah,
So
that
just
is some. Yep,
just out of curiosity, I mean, I get that this is a bird's eye view photograph
yep,
of it, but if
yep.
it's
So
not, yeah, if it's not fully functional anymore, how come you can't take pictures of the actual facility, like in front of it?
so you can. I thought I'll just get the bigger picture of it, so you kind of know how big it is. But I do actually have photos because we have been there. Sunset, sunset, sunset. Where are you? Oh God, it's ages ago. Sunset, sunset, sunset. No. Where are we? No, that's Woodland Point. Sorry, I've got a lot of photos on the phone.
Oh, you're fine.
So that's a photo. Neat.
Okay, hang on one second. I'm looking for it right now. Oh, here we go. Okay, wait. Well, no, this is the same one. Did you send it to me already, or?
Oh shit! I meant to be sending it. My bad.
Yeah,
I
that's why.
I was
Yeah,
just
that's
holding
why.
this.
I was gonna say I was waiting for it, but I didn't get it. I didn't get the notification.
Nick, fine.
Yeah. Um. No, I can't show that one because it's from another team. Can't show that one. Do we actually have any body photos? Um. Sorry guys, 2 seconds.
Oh, you're fine.
Images. Come on.
Saturday is National Ghost Hunting Day.
That's correct.
Woo! And it's the
What are you
AFL
hunting
final.
it?
Ooh.
Like Zoinks, man!
See, it's
Oh,
too
here
bad
we
that
go.
it's not. It's too bad that we're not having the Rock Island Paracon for this weekend. That would have been perfect for, having it for National Ghost Hunting Day.
Right.
Nick, can you put my phone up? I think this would be a bit better because then I can just like
Yeah,
flip
sure.
through
Give
it
me
for a
one
lot of
second
photos.
here. I got to go through this routine once again. Okay, here we
Oh
go.
shit, more. Right, so there's part of it.
Oh yeah, I can That's it.
Um,
We can definitely see it.
then you got that part. By the way, I don't know which way I'm going. Got that part. Um,
So it's quite a couple of different buildings throughout the facility.
yeah. So the way it reminds me of, no disrespect, but it's kind of like the shape of a Nazi symbol. So you've got the cross
Yeah,
bit, and then you've got
yeah, it
yeah,
does. I actually have to admit, it did kind of have a little bit of that swastika kind of look to it.
yeah,
Well,
that place.
it does make sense in some way because prior to World War II, the
Yeah,
swastika was often used like on a regular basis for like different types of groups, or it was like essentially a decoration before, like, obviously unlike today when we see the swastika, obviously we consider it an offensive symbol, but before that, that was quite a common symbol that was used like pretty much all over the place, if not all over the
yeah.
world. In fact, even like Chinese cultures for a short period, they use the swastika like with their culture and their art. So that was probably one of the pre World War II kind of looks to it.
Because I know in Perth, I think is it Perth or Australia, Robert, that they've actually banned it. That if you get caught doing the sign or the salute, yeah, you get in deep shit.
So I came across this, and because we were talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I learned that ostriches walk around, forget where they're going. I also learned my spirit animal is an ostrich.
A little funny for you.
On that note, I think we're going to wrap it up, Nick.
Yeah, because
I think a few of you guys.
11:30. It's almost 11:30 here at night, and it's been a long day for me too. So I think I'm ready to go to sleep. I did want to say real quick just before we get off, Nikki and Robert, so you guys know ahead of time. I wasn't sure if you guys were going to be able to do a show. If you guys wanted to do a show next week because I have this trip next week and I won't be available for it. So if anything, if you guys want to wait till I get back, like 2 weeks from now, I can do it. I can do a
That's
show.
actually good because my daughter's on school holidays or vocation, as you guys call it. Is it vocation? Yeah, as you guys call it. From today's the last day of school for 2 weeks, so I won't be able to do a show for 2 weeks. But if you guys want to do it, go ahead. I give consent.
Yeah. As far as I know, no. As far as next week, no, I can't because I got to get up early. I mean, the very next. Yeah, there's no way I can't because I got to get up at 8 a.m. the next morning to go to work, and then after that go to the event. So if anything, we could always just push it 2 weeks.
Yep, sounds good. On that note, Nick, do you want to say the goodbye, or Robert, or anyone, or just wing it? We'll wing it.
We all could.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining Paranormal PWA Chat, and see you guys later.